and he's probably gonna get with Sam and tell Jack, hey, put us in, coach. And that's the Netflix or the Amazon or the Apple or the whatever streaming Hulu type of subscription you subscribe to. That's the reboot.
Or maybe we just like grab a few GoPros and get in the Impalas and roll camera.
and then just sell it to everybody. Hey, I know a production company that would actually do that.
Can we call them? Do you know their number?
I have their number. Yeah.
Amazing. Dallas, Texas. Hi, Sarah Moro 12. Hi from Dallas, Texas. I was wondering what is something you would like to pass on to your kids that is important to you. Love you guys. Love you back. Ackles, you want to start this mess?
Pass on to the kids. I mean, I would say, well, certainly a sense of self, a sense of purpose, a sense of community. There's all those kind of self-help type of things that you can tell your kid, but I just hope that in my world I can teach my kids to just love themselves and love who they are, because I don't think you really can love other people until you love yourself. And so a strong compass in that field is, I think, required to really have a fulfilling life. So if I can leave them with that and the baby, those are the two things.
I think I have a very similar answer. I heard a podcast or read something in the last year that somebody just kind of casually said, find somebody who loves you, warts and all, and who you love back, warts and all. And I think that's something, I've been really fortunate. We've both been fortunate to meet a lot of people who know our work, and that's unusual for a human being, for someone to know like what you do. And it's awesome and flattering. And we've also been in a weird situation where some people want to know you or kind of collaborate with you for maybe the wrong reasons. But the people that have really made my life better are the people that love me, warts and all. And I would say that I hope my kids seek out that sense of purpose that Ackles talked about, but also seek to find people that love them, warts and all, and that they love back, warts and all. It's one thing to like the good or the convenient you see in somebody else, but it's another to go like, you know what, this person is human, they're flawed, but I'm human and flawed also, and I just want to support this person, like whatever they're doing. Like if they're going to make a mistake, and I'm going to be there to say like, hey dude, you made a mistake, I still love you. You made a mistake, like let's get through this together, and vice versa. So warts and all.
But like genital warts and all? Because
yes, all of the warts. All
okay.
of the warts.
I mean, I was just checking. I didn't know if there was like a...
I mean, I still love you, right? So, I mean...
That is a very good point.
That's a very good point.
That is a very good point.
Yes. I hope no one's filming this. Louisa,
I'm like sweating in this thing. How do you wear that? And you're in Texas.
Yeah, but my air conditioning's at 65.
Oh, well, you also just had a snow apocalypse in there.
Yeah, we sure did. What was the most silly fight you've ever had? I love you guys. All right, Louisa, love SPN, love you back. Silly fight.
We did an entire fight outtake that was in slow motion. That was pretty awesome.
That's right. That was the finale.
Yeah. We did that. It was unrehearsed and unplanned.
Wow.
But we
gave each other a look right before.
You know why? Because Rob said slow it down.
Oh.
He said, "Okay, guys, hey, that's a very common note for Rob, and I think most stunt coordinators is to slow the fight down.
Yeah, if you're fighting at real speed, you lose it.
Well, yeah, there's two things. There's two things that can happen if you're fighting at the speed that normal people would fight. One, the camera's not going to see it because it's so fast. It's a blur. It's a motion blur. And two, if you're fighting at real speed, you have a higher chance of getting hurt. Something wrong happening. When you slow it down, you can be more precise about your movements. and the camera can see it, and it doesn't feel like you've slowed down.
Hey, did that make it? Do we have a gag reel? Did it make it to the gag reel? Do we have?
I'm sure it did. Yeah, you guys probably see that. But anytime like we get a note that is so either just so obvious or something that we can completely play with, Jared and I don't even have to conversate. We don't have to like talk about it. It's just a look of just.
Yep. Yeah. He said, "Slow it down." We'll slow it down.
Slow it down. And so we instantly they're like, action. And we did that so many times over the course of Supernatural. Not so many times, but
also that time specifically was a really high intensity day. I mean, that was
it was probably the most high octane day.
Yeah,
in years.
We like the crew, the cast, the crew, the stunt guys and gals. Everybody needed to laugh, and we were like, okay, we know what's coming at the end of the day. We know we're about to shoot, where we're all going to be crying for 8 hours straight. So let's get this laugh in while we can. And just made it silly, you know.
That's one thing that I assume I'm going to miss the most working on other shows is Jared and I had kind of a knack of when anything started to get really kind of heavy and serious, and there was a lot on the line. He and I always had a knack of just popping the bubble and taking the air out of it. And what it did was it allowed people to relax into what they needed to do. And in my opinion, it was a better product because of it. If there's so much tension and that can lead to anxiety, and that can lead to missteps, and that can lead to people forgetting their words or stumbling and they can't or making a wrong move with it, and it's just all of a sudden you take the air out of all of that and you laugh.
Yeah.
Laughter is a beautiful cure for a lot of that, and I will be forever grateful at the laughter that occurred on Supernatural.
Amen.
Yeah. Next, where we got? Tattoo Alecki. Yes, and that one's for you.
Tattoo Alecki. I'll read it. Where'd it go?
Go for it.
It's not showing up. Weird.
Boom.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think Dean would let Sam pick the music in heaven, or would it always music? Shotgun shuts the cake hole. Well, my vote, my guess. This is a question for Ackles, really, but my guess is absolutely not. Especially in Dean's heaven, and you know what? In Sam's heaven, driver picks music. Shotgun shuts the cake hole. So if Sam's driving, then he picks the music. But if Dean's driving, then I think he picks music.
I agree, but I'll add that in saying that in heaven, no matter who picks the music,
you both hear what you want to hear.
You hear what you want to hear.
So I'm hearing like, "What is love? Don't hurt me." Fair enough. Thank you, Tattoo Alecki.
All right. Okay. I am. Is it Nagar? Nagar? We'll leave it at that. From Iran. What have you not done yet, but would like to do? What have you not done yet? I mean, I would follow that up by saying in the show, in life.
Yeah, there's some funny ways to go with it.
There's kind of other ways to go.
I've never done black tar heroin.
Let's go with the show. Let's go with what did we, now that it's over, what did we not get to do that we would have liked to have done?
I don't know, man. Legit. I don't know. I think it's easier for me to say like what Jared would like to do. I mean, I love traveling, and I would love to continue to travel and see some spaces. I would love to learn other languages. I mean, I feel like I could live, if there were 5 Jareds right now living lives, I feel like I still wouldn't be able to do all of the things that I want to do. You know what? Then maybe my answer is I would like to learn how to just calm down and chill out. because I can't stop moving, and I would love to learn how to like. And for the maybe that links over to Sam Winchester. Like I would love for him to really be at a space. It seems like he did in the final episode, at least for a little bit. I think he was still conflicted and probably still, thoughtful and pensive about his brother and the life that he had led for so long. But just learn to be, there's a question earlier about like what do you want to pass on to your kids, and it's some degree of sort of like peace and calm and comfort with yourself and those around you. And so I don't know if I haven't done that yet, but I like to keep on working on just being happy where I am and with who I am.
I'll go the show route. I'll say that something that I think that I would have liked to have done on Supernatural, we didn't get to do, was, and I don't think I don't think there was a reason why there was plenty of reasons why we couldn't. It was just, I think, logistics. But I would have liked to have had a crossover of some sort. I would have liked to have had, gone over to like Vampire Diaries and like just nuked them all, or gone or cut a deal with AMC and The Walking Dead and have the Impala roll in and just like Slaughterhouse 5.
By the way, that should be our one stipulation. Like, we'll do more Supernaturals, but we're only going to go into other shows and kill them all.
Yes. Oh my God.
It should be like a 12-episode season of us going like to Ozark and killing the bad guys.
That's it.
Going to like whatever else is on and just killing all the bad guys.
Talk about slumming it for the other show. Talk about a ratings dip. No,
but we'd be naked.
Talk about a ratings spike. Boom, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
We changed that.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought that would have been really cool if we could have figured out some sort of a crossover. And I mean, clearly they're doing that now on a variety of shows. So I know it's not impossible, but I just don't think it made sense given the story that they're telling at the time. But that would have been fun. I would have liked to have done that. Yeah. Next, all right, this one says Jensen, so I'll take it. What happened when you were snow tubing with JJ? Oh, yeah. So I took JJ to go tubing down the snow hill down the road at the park, and she met a friend there who was the same age and who was tubing as well with her mom. And they asked if they could tube together. And so the mom was up at the top, and they were like, can they go together? We're like, yeah, that's fine. It was safe. Everybody was masked up. And, I mean, they're in full snow gear. So, so they hop on this tube, or the sled, and at the bottom of the sledding hill, which was like kind of the designated sledding hill, there's a fire hydrant. I don't know why, but it was wrapped with like a gym pad. So here they come. They're coming down, and they just start like literally beelining right off the the run right straight towards the fire hydrant, and I had touched the pad earlier. It was solid as a rock because it was frozen. Whatever material it was in there was not cushiony at all, and so I start making my way that way, going like, surely they're moved. Surely they're going to like duck out or fall over or turn or do something. No, beeline straight for this immovable object. So I just threw myself in front of the sled and in between that and the fire hydrant. And I kind of like went down to try to like take the brunt of it off of my thigh and hip. And it flipped me completely over. I did like a full NFL flip into the end zone.
Did you land on your feet?
No, I landed right on square on my butt, but I had softened the impact enough for them not to have been seriously hurt. They were banged a little bit, as was I. But yeah, that's what happened. It just and I posted it, and I tried to make a joke out of it, saying like, oh, I should have just stayed there and let the camera roll, because that would have made for an epic fail video. And what kind of an influencer am I if I can't capture good, good content when it happens? But I snapped into dad mode there, and it was just like, throw your body in front of the speeding train and save your children. So that's what happened with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kmart. What's something that, when you think about it, you can't help but smile? Many jib shenanigans for me. Well, I have been laughing out loud for what? How long since the Gil video? 2 days?
I mean, I feel like I should show him what you just did to me.
Do it. All right, here you go, Kmart. This has been my last 2 days of laughing out loud.
So Jared just sent this to me just before we started the panel.
And I've been laughing out loud like a child.
And to preface this, I will say that I sent him a picture of myself to show him some beard updates, because that's
as one does.
Because we're dumb like that, and we do stupid stuff like that. So he took this beard update and decided to try to like make it up a little, maybe make it a little snappier. So this is now going to be in my head for the rest of the day.
Now from the top, make it drop. That's the wet and cushion. Now get the fucking and on mop. That's the wet and cushion. I'm fucking.
Okay, that's enough of that. I hope you all are laughing and not horrified.
I think you killed 4 more people.
Yeah.
4 died when you said you parted out the Impala. 4 more just died. The bearded Cardi B single line. So, oh man, I'm crying.
Bearded Cardi B. That sounds like a circus attraction.
Yeah, I think it is. Yes, that's fine.
That's what's been making him smile for the past few.
Yeah. Well, who did? Was it Fergus who did the one of Gil?
Yeah, Fergus did Gil.
You have that one?
We have a big text thread with a lot of the cast and we all keep in touch, which is just proof that these conventions that we go on and we show we're not just faking it. We really truly are a big group of crazy friends, and we enjoy each other's company and each other's banter. And we had this text thread. I think I actually started it with that picture of Rob. He had posted a picture, and I had a comment about it, so I reposted it on the thread, and then that just like threw a whole conversation out of orbit. And this was one of the posts that the conversation led to.
I don't know how to push it.
It's so
There's also this. So Jensen just had a birthday. He's looking a little bit older, but he still looks good. Damn it. How do I do it?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I literally think I'm going to be fired because I'm spending probably 20 hours a day just on that app, like laughing to myself, and there's like Bambaleo and it's good times.
I'll also say that Jared and I, on occasion, have been known to go back and watch the blooper reels from earlier seasons.
Yeah.
There's some shenanigans that have happened on set that when reminded of will simply bring a smile and a chuckle and quite possibly a spit take to the face. So yeah, thanks Kmart.
I miss you. Elena Pause. Hey guys, so nice to see you. Love you. So my question is, if Sam and Dean were telling a bedtime story, what would it be about? I'm gonna go first with you, Ackles.
Yeah, go ahead, because I gotta find something real quick.
Okay, shoot. Okay, bedtime story. So my kids want bedtime stories all the I have that too.
Boom, done.
Yeah, boom. That would work. I mean, I think we have 327 bedtime stories to choose from. My kids always want me to tell them like scary stories. Like, tell me a scary story about this or that. I'll be like, well, I don't really know a scary story about this or that. And they're like, well, make one up. Like, oh, I'll make one up. And then I end up telling them a story, and they like have nightmares and sleep in our room, and they'll tell Jen, like, Dad scared us. We're having nightmares. Like, you told me to tell you a scary story. Like, I don't know what to do. So my scary story,
Do you make them up?
I make them up totally. Well, they tell me. They tell me like, they're like, can you tell a scary story about a dinosaur? I'm like, well, okay, here we go. So one time, when you
Do you
boys were
just plug the scary story into like a movie that you've seen? Or plug the dinosaur into like, you know, like Exorcist? Like,
No,
there was a dinosaur laying on the bed and it was possessed by Satan.
No, mine are kind of open-ended, like, because they might go to bed, you know, in 30 seconds, and then I'll just tell the story. So I'll be like, I was walking through the yard, and I heard a noise, and I looked over, I didn't see anything. So I kept walking, I closed the chicken coop, and I made sure the gate was closed, and I took garbage to the street. I heard the noise again, but it was louder. And so I wanted to see what the noise was, so I walked over to the side of the house. I didn't see anything. You know, like, that's not nothing.
Yeah.
It's a nothing story about, like,
It's like telling a ghost story with no real punchline.
yeah, I'm just like
Yeah.
talking until they fall asleep. And so like it carries on. Remember how we've talked about, so Ackles and I have talked about, you know, being a background actor, where you have to be like in a bar scene. And you know, you're not the ones talking right by camera, you're behind them. Well, like the best thing to do is to start telling a joke that never ends. It's like, okay, a guy's walking down the street. He sees 2 girls and 3 guys crossing the other way. So the guy crosses the street, but 2 cars come. One's yellow, one's black. And so the yellow and black car pass up, and like that way it feels like.
Meanwhile, the director's like, cut. What's up with the over-animated background actor? Can somebody tell him to keep his arms to his side, please?
It's the only way to properly do it is to tell the longest joke of all time. If it's a 4-minute scene, like just tell a 4-minute joke that never gets to the punchline, because you're actually doing something. You're like, and then so he meets the guys. It's a guy named Jen, a girl named Jerry. So he's like, well, Jen and Jerry, shouldn't it be Jerry and Jen? And they're like, no, we're Jen and Jerry. So he starts crossing the street, sees a black and yellow car going the other way, and people are like, what? It lasts forever.
You gotta have a payoff. You gotta take a joke that has a punchline, and then you just breathe life into the, like, you know, McDougal the Roadmaker. Like, you could make that one as long as you wanted, but there's still a punchline.
That's fair. But I guess when the joke is like 4 minutes long, it probably doesn't get a laugh. You can always go with like wrecked him and nearly killed him. I mean, I guess in fairness, that's probably the best thing to do. All right, I think we have another.
You could also just always go with like a series of your dad jokes,
Oh,
which
great.
are
Phenomenal.
pretty great.
Phenomenal.
We're going to go back a couple of questions. Krista, this is something that makes me laugh when I think about it. Jared telling the joke, did you hear there was...
What's going on?
Did you... Did you hear there was an explosion at a cheese factory in France? Debris was everywhere.
That's a good one. There was debris everywhere. How many times have you told that?
I can't get through it.